So wonder what kind of other carry pick or possible other fragile hero they'd want to protect with this Abaddon. Because if you want just a healing support right now, I think that options that are open, like the Winter Wyvern, for
Winter
example, are
Wyvern,
probably
yeah.
more appealing. So they must have something specific in mind with this Abaddon.
Also, I like the idea of Abaddon to remove the 5 poison attack stacks from the Viper, plus the instant purge from Lion Stun. Gives a tiny bit of extra protection as well, not only just removing the stun, but applying the small points of extra HP, if you consider it that way. That Lion doesn't just one-shot you. This is important for the Puck to stay alive too, that you don't just get blown up before you get anything off. That's Puck's glass cannon vibe that sometimes strikes.
True. They have pigeonholed themselves into a double melee support draft right now, though, so there's definitely things that Fantastic Five can do to take advantage of this.
Did you say pigeonholed?
Yes?
What is a pigeonholed? Enlighten me.
No, a pigeonhole.
Pigeonhole. Okay, I thought pigeonholed was some kind of wrestling move. So I was like, wait, what? What is this? This a new thing? TB for sure is not a new thing, though. That's at least for sure.
No, so here this Clockwork is exactly going to win both of the matchups with both of these melee supports, no matter which lane he is in. Both of them have to fear for their lives. Of course, the Abaddon a little bit less so, but still, he's not going to trade favorably there. And that secures the, or I should say that does not secure the Terrorblade, and then Drow Ranger immediately. I like this, no hesitation from Fantastic Five. They say you get a hero that has a HP swap with a hero that's close by, as well as a lot of armor. You get a hero that's not going to be close by, and that is going to go straight through all of that base armor.
Yep.
Not entirely safe into the Puck, of course, but right now Nemiga don't have any other gap closers than that, so they're going to have to either double down or back up.
This is also the idea with the the TB pick now synchronizing with the Abaddon. Abaddon can buff up with the Solar Crest becoming a huge support item pickup these days, where you just basically invest all of your money into it, stay in melee range. The old Abaddon was usually Aether Lens to spam heal until they nerfed the heal, then they just made the shield kind of your weapon because you're one of the only strong dispellers in the game. But TB a glass cannon, Puck a glass cannon, like the Abaddon, how fits in together. But then you have, talked about the Clockwork, the Gap Closer, the Vision Provider, and protection for the Drow. So Drow's going to get much more hits in as the Clockwork is willing to go in. That's why I absolutely love heroes like Earth Spirit, Clockwork, who are willing to go in, sacrifice their lives, and enable the team to reposition and just go full ham, even at the cost of their own life or staying alive because they made that play for the core to get so many hits out. That's why I love these types of heroes.
Same here, like it's the attitude as well. It says, all right, we are going to bring the fight to you.
Yeah.
And taking the initiative is always the most powerful move. Of course, there's a bunch of people right now who probably, play black and chess the most, and they're like, no, going second is best, reacting is best. That way you never have the power. You never decide where the game goes. And with the Clockwork, you're going to have to.
Yep, and TB and Drow are both these stand and fight type of heroes that they will hold their ground. If they're forced to move, it comes on their own terms. Unless we see those TBs. I remember casting some games last year where the TB would spend most of his time running away. Like, why do we have this hero in the draft? Because he's supposed to be the guy hitting the opponent, not on the move the whole time. So you want to be, if you're moving, you want to have it on your own terms. And Void Spirit is going to be under the Gap Closer. Pretty annoying hero as well to work around with. Can build up into the silence, which is Puck's worst enemy. And overall, I feel like Void Spirit is a better melee option to go up against the Puck than, say, for example, a Mars or...
10 seconds to pick.
What was the previous melee matchup we saw in mid?
That was a Magnus. It did not end.
The Magnus, yeah, that was a very, very tough time that he had. The Broodmother was a lot better, but... Talking about Void Spirit, we have a Darkseer to be closing out the draft here for Nemiga, and we have our drafts on the table. So, offlane Darkseer, and we have last hero on the Viper. So, give us a quick intake on Pause 3 Viper.
Pause 3 Viper, absolutely most annoying bastard you'll ever meet in the lane. He's going to be harassing you constantly. He's going to get really fat as well if you let him get away with it. He can, if you don't keep on harassing him and he doesn't have to put that many levels into the poison skin, then you're just going to get your wave pushed in with the help of his nether toxin as well.
10 seconds
So
to pick.
very annoying for Terrorblade to fight into. Not going to feel great for Kiritich here at all. Of course, he is a TB, he can move into the jungle pretty fast as long as he gets those early levels into the illusions up. But you never like to abandon the lane. And the problem here is that if he abandons the lane, I don't think the Drow Ranger necessarily needs to abandon the lane versus the Darkseer all that early. Especially not if either the Clockwork, I think it's going to be the Lion, but you can get kills on this Darkseer, especially early on, if he overstays his welcome. So the Chosen One is going to have a lot tougher time here than last hero.
What would you say about the drafts in whole? Who's going to take game number 1, just based on paper?
I like the Drow into TB. I like it a lot. I don't think they have quite enough follow-up either. Darkseer is nice for the added team fight and the lane pressure, but there is a point here where the Drow is going to get in trouble, right? The Darkseer is going to get an Aghanim Scepter. It's going to become very hard to burst the Terrorblade through both of the protective shields of the Abaddon as well as the Darkseer.
Yeah.
And that is time for a lineup, even that doesn't have that much gap close, to get on top of the Drow Ranger. So that is the hardest point in the game for her, I think. Unless, of course, she manages to lose the game in lane, in which case it might be hard for her to get to a dominant position at all. But the TB is definitely on the back foot here. And with how dominant the carry matchups have been, I think that means that Nemiga is on the back foot as well.
Are you guys gonna play the game?
Are you guys going to play the game is sounded out, and we are definitely ready to start casting this one as we're going into our final best of 3 series of the day. Nemiga versus Fantastic 5. May the better team win today and continue their run. Nemiga, we already mentioned, they're on a very long run in the lower bracket. Can they keep it up? Fantastic 5 has already taken out one of the strongest teams in the tournament. So they're definitely up to a challenge. BZZ has got a challenge of his own as he's surrounded from every single direction, and they are escorting him to potential death. Usually Orb doesn't quite connect, but the right click should be enough. Another Impale, or Earth Spike, and you're gonna let him pass. And with the help of the... somebody had an Iron Shell, but I don't see anybody having it. Actually, the next Assassin had it on, so Chosen One gets first blood. They also have time. They got time to go for the bounties as well, so they shouldn't miss on this bounty on their own side. Heaven with the Chosen One heading towards the high ground. Clockwork has Battery Assault picked up, and here we go. Plop, plop, plop. Trying to get a stun out of that. Drow Ranger ends up being the target for it. So we're gonna get there. Ledon able to snatch it away, and now Nyx Assassin's gonna have to fight for his life here. And he goes down, but the Drow Ranger is also dropping low. He's gotta kill this Drow. That's not the way it was supposed to go. That went from great to horrible.
Oh, it did, but that's single target versus AoE for ya. The Chosen One gets to deal all of this damage with just a single Iron Shell. And gets to take down multiple heroes low, where... Yeah, so he...
Alright, you're right, never mind. So that's a classic tower deny, never mind. That's... Yeah, but that's this man is on a killing spree and the game just started. Welcome to Eastern European Dota, ladies and gents. Anything can happen.
That might be the earliest killing spree ever. I mean, we have seen a couple before the Horn, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's been rampages that we've seen before the Bell and all, but in this tournament, I think that might just be the fastest killing spree.
Oh, definitely. Certainly on this patch. So, the Chosen One, you've got yourself a lane. And let's face it, I have seen Nemiga outplay their way out of drafts that were decidedly not in their favor before. They really know how they want to play things, so this is a good leg up to start with.
Yep, meanwhile, Lodon caught in the river. Last hero and BZZ grabbed himself a quick pick off there of the Abaddon. Probably was forcing them away from the lane. Even if it does come at the cost of his life, at least the Terrorblade gets a little bit of easy time on the lane. You could almost say he earned a little bit of a private time. Everybody else was led away.
And this lane here, they're really going to look to keep the Viper as far away from this Terrorblade as possible. But sometimes you do not have the chance Look at harass coming in from last hero. At the very least, last hero is going to empty out his mana pool pretty quick. And then Kiritich can finally start playing.
Yep, yep. Also, what I'm looking at here is usually Viper at level 1, when you get the full 5 stacks of poison attack, seems to do a lot of damage on many heroes. TB with 4 stacks a moment ago was ticking for 13 damage. It's not there's like barely anything if you have a Tango ticking. So I feel like the Viper's going to lose more mana than he's actually dealing damage on the TB.
I think not.
Might come in handy for him, on the long run at least.
I wonder though, Kiritich can't get away from it very fast. Actually, look at this. It's it might not be a lot, but Lowdown still needs to take it off.
Yep,
Because he
this is
just
the
does not have any base HP.
this is the anti-Bat Rider. He just hit 5 stacks. Quick shield, remove all the stacks away. Last hero, he's out of mana regen at the moment. He doesn't have any Basilius or Sage's Masks or anything at the moment. Let's buy himself some quick instant boosts, and a courier is on a risk path. They're even pinging it there, but double melee, so easy ain't feeling worried. Meanwhile, in the top lane, led on. He might have been led on, but actually, never mind. He doesn't live. He was led on.
Did that one to himself, I'm afraid. Yeah, the Drow is doing a decent job here, but if the Clockwork doesn't get off a good enough start here, he's going to keep on dying. And I thought that he would have a good time versus the Nyx Assassin, but I do think that the good start that the Chosen One had, which means a lot of Ion Shell levels, a lot of time to give them to his ally, instead of needing them for himself, is hurting the Clockwork big time.
TB is now level 3, so at least not having to face the problem of instantly having to run into the jungle. There are some cases where even if you pick the Terrorblade, you're prepared to answer the consequences of instantly jumping to the triangle. He's going to lose all of his mana, though. Bit of damage kicks in. At least the Abaddon helps in this case. It's hard to be active on your Abaddon, but he's doing his best.
That's all an Abaddon can do.
What's going on top, though? What are these boys up to?
That's a dive.
That's definitely a dive. Now they're sitting at the cogs and their creeps are dying slowly. Goes in the stun. Chosen One's tanking the tower, taking a lot of hits here. Led on. Vacuum. A little bit of a turnaround there, but not enough to kill either side.
And I think this is the writing on the wall. The Chosen One definitely got too good of a start for this Drow to be able to actually keep him away. So she's going to have to leave pretty soon.
Yeah.
Unless something changes. Unless they get a rotation in from, for example, Askold, who is nearing his level 6. And who's definitely looking to make a defensive rotation with that. Going on the Puck in the mid lane is always extremely dangerous.
Yeah, Puck was just forced all the way back home. Good nuke there from the Void Spirit. But the thing is, Aincrad just TPs in mid. He's going to hit level 6, but Askold hits level 6 now with a TP off cooldown. Wants to attempt on the Puck, though. I was thinking maybe the Void Spirit wants to make a rotation. Last hero's not inviting capability. I don't think there's kill potential on the Drow lane either.
No, I definitely think there will be. Like they are going to go for another dive with that Ion Shell sooner rather or later. Of course, they will be prepared right now.
It would be great to go on the Terrorblade, but last hero, maybe he's preparing for it. Just picked up a salve, goes back to full HP. Metamorph is coming off cooldown right now, but Lion has made sure that this TB has no mana to play with. However, in mid there's a rotation, but the coil not gonna be enough to take down Askold. Chosen One seeing all of this rotation, he gets a little bit of free roam in top. But Rari is doing some damage. There's the Gust onto 2. TP coming in. Is it going to be enough, though? Because Drow is dropping low. A lot of stick charges to the rescue. And Chosen One is not the one tanking the tower. But Nyx Assassin gets the kill. The vacuum might be enough for another Lion kill. It's not going to come on time. But Chosen One... What's the word for that again? Post-mortem. Posthumously gets a kill, yeah.
Aincrad getting chased now.
Doesn't have the coil available, so he just throws an orb and walks away.
That was exactly the opportunity for the Asgold rotation that I was talking about.
Yeah.
You just get a double kill on the top lane if you go in there, but he doesn't seem to be interested. And at the same time, yeah, Einkrad without rotating without the coil is not really going to do anything for you either. So both mid laners, a bit of a missed opportunity there.
I love the way you put it. Like, he's not interested. Like, imagine having a teammate. It's like, we need help top. Nah.
Yeah.
I got better things to do. I got a mid-wave to farm.
I mean, he didn't have full status, he was missing one of his steps, there were certainly some reasons. But again, I think that it was very predictable that the Drow was going to be on their tower again. If I can see it, they can see it.
But Einkrad, he is hunting. And he's got his eyes on the target. Drow Ranger is the one he wants to go for. And from the back they appear. Clockwork spotted, but walks in between. And the cogs, he's placing himself really well. But there we go. Here comes the man himself. Asgold arrives. And he will lose. Actually, Dawn will lose his life. But he will find the kill on Einkrad. So there's the timing he was waiting for and looking for. He gets it. And an instant punishment. 2 for 1 for Fantastic 5.
Excellent. That's Asgold redeeming himself right there.
The Puck kill as well. Puck's dead for quite some time now. Well, missing out on the wave.
It's possible that he was looking to literally only rotate if the Puck was going to rotate. And if so, he certainly managed to do that and stop off
Dawn's
his
bottom.
opponent's.
Trying to take down this Abaddon. Not even trying, they're actually doing it. I was waiting for the shield, but looks like he was holding on to it for a little bit too long. Don't think you can actually cast shield during battery assault. That might be why he never used it.
Yep, you can see that animation twitching, but it's never going to get off if the clockwork is properly on top of you.
7-7. 14 kills in 9 minutes. This is the highest pace game we've had so far, at least on our cast. Darkseer in the lead with that early killing spree. 5-1 and 2. We saw him have the Mana Boots and an Aghanim Scepter lined up like 5-6 minutes into the game. It's like, that's all I need. Just need these 2 items and I'm good to go. Some heroes be like that.
Exactly. So sometimes it just be like that. He will just get his Aghanim Scepter, be able to push waves all over the map, and secure at the same time that delicious extra HP for all of his melee supports as well.
BZZ, he's ill-expecting company. Gets the
He's
Hex off. Trying to get a defensive stun off. Ladon does show up in time, and it actually is Lodin. Lodin who is set up for this one. 1 for 1. And a follow-up kill on the Nyx Assassin. So 2 for 1. There was a bit more traffic than they were expecting, and I could say Alliance timing to show up was actually a pretty good one because it led right into a bait.
Perfectly done by him. That's exactly the way you want to break a smoke.
Fun fact. Look at Einkrad's build. No points in phase shift. Not a single one. No dodging. He's just went max damage. That's why he's been doing these rotations all along. But that might be the reason why he also died to the Void Spirit.
It's very likely. You don't get to dodge any silences like this. He's going to pick it up next, presumably. But yeah, he has been a little bit fragile.
Pushing Glass Cannon to the next level. And they're going on the Void Spirit. Silence is there, but very weak attempt by Nemiga. Not going to be enough. There was also a Lion throwing an Earth Spike on the edge. Lodin walks on the high ground. TP's bottom, realizes that Darkseer's in trouble. But Abaddon's TP never went through, so he dies as well.
Got a hook shot right to the face.
Yeah, probably got hook shot at the same time. I looked at bottom. I was like, wait, he's not here.
That particular train never arrived.
There's 2 low HPs.
Great job.
Heaven could snipe them. Yoink. Oh, he wants the catapult. Oh, doesn't get it. Doesn't quite get it.
Pesky tower. Yeah, BZZ and Rari here are going to make sure that this tower falls one way or another.
Looks for the deny. Yoink.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
2 times this man has yeeted something away from Fantastic 5, and now they want revenge. Hex goes through, Carapace used, so Ladon's just gonna walk in. Gets hit by the stun. Those TP though, he's just gonna have to succumb to his fate. Pretty early finger, though. Doesn't get a stack for it. Or doesn't at least look
No,
like
he
he
does.
got this one. But did he actually get it? Okay. Sometimes this thing works in mysterious ways.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Perfectly
Viper
fine.
denies top. There's backup coming. Eincrad sees the clockwork coming in. Ledon surprised that there's a little more people here than expected. Throws down the coil. Cogs are also there. It will pop. Nice vacuum on the other side of the cogs. And Eincrad is now on the low ground. He's missing both of his hits. Well, he hits the latter one, but not the prior. Abaddon just needs one Q off. Someone had raindrops in their inventory, and it was a good buy.
Radiant have
Clockwork lives.
fortified their towers.
And what is it, these yeah, exactly. That's just the
Radiant's
clockwork.
middle tower
Pillars.
is
They spent
taking
a whole
damage.
lot of effort
Dire's
on
top
this
tower is
position
under
4.
siege.
Yep. You almost end up
Position
losing
5
this
actually,
mid tower
I should
for it,
say.
though. Yeah. It's Ascald and Rari both right next to each
Radiant's middle
others.
tower is being attacked.
Nyx gets hexed up, but the teammates are a bit too far away, so they're just going to focus on this tier 1 tower. Kiritich is nearby with a Metamorph ready, but he would like to disengage, or at least avoid this engagement. So they're going to take a chill, as it has been for a couple minutes now. Drow in the lead of the network.
Yeah, and they gotta play it safe here over on Nemiga until they get that Ion Shell, upgraded Ion Shell up over on the Chosen One. Before that, it is extremely hard to make a play into all of this range damage. The last hero on the Viper has a lot of Atos as well, so no getting out if you go in.
Very handy tool. That's going to be one of the worst enemies for Puck, because Puck can't use phase shift during root.
Exactly.
One of the greatest item counters for playing up against a Riki as well. A lot of people don't build Rod of Atos because it's not a meta item. So it's actually one of the best counters to the hero, because you're 2 seconds without you being able to do anything except maybe pop your BKB to get away.
It is, but especially at this level, you're kind of expected as a Riki or as a Puck to dodge the projectile.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you jump into melee range to use it, that's another whole different story. But we'll see if that does happen or does not. Nyx Assassin, one piece towards the Aghanims. And Darkseer, he needs 2.5 more. Item times are popping up slowly. Last hero and Ledon looking for some aggression towards Nemiga's side of map. Maybe we'll get some kind of fighting going on. Lowdown spots some incoming heroes, at least one, and now BZZ as well. So that's a good bait. He pops the smokes and happily walks away.
Sentry's up twice as well. BZZ's movement looks like he planted a ward there, so Lowdown is going to be a little bit disappointed that he wasted 100 gold there. But
The difference between these two teams right now is Nemiga, they see a Clockwork, they go for it. Fantastic 5, they see an Abaddon, they don't. They would have easily done the same thing as Nemiga have been doing. They've been banging their heads on a hero that should be able to die. Again, the same thing. They're scouting out Ledon, but now they're second thinking it. Like, we've tried this a couple times. Do we want to do it again?
yes, this is really going to work out well for us. He's under a tower.
That too as well. This is super risky. And they're going to back out as well, as you can see from the map movements. They're heading back to the lane. And Chosen One spotted in top. Yules into the air. BZZ's around. Slowly but surely using one spell at a time. Just tickling. They do force a rotation. It is Heaven. Hunting for Lion, but there's a sentry ward. A good spot for him to stand in as well, so nothing breaks loose. But in mid, there's a big roll going on in Drow. We're in big trouble as well. The TB will take down 2, maybe even 3. Taking out Rory and last hero and finish this off Ledon. Kiritich. TB shows up out of nowhere and he's ready to fight.
Shows up big time. That was a coil too. Both Fantastic 5 as well as us as casters were just so busy with top lane that we never looked at what was going on in mid.
That was a lot of movement because Puck was there as well to join the fight. Because they were just backing away from bottom. They used both of their TPs to get back in. Didn't really see, did they jump on the TB first, or was it the other way around?
I imagine that this was a jump from the Puck because when you see the Void Spirit over on the top lane, go in and then back off, you know that you have a couple of,
Radiant's top
at least
tower is
like
under
20
siege.
seconds or something like that to make a play before he can reasonably show up. And that is the guy who's going to give you the most trouble if you're the puck. So they recognized that window and they went in, is how I reconstructed on a guess. I'll have to go into the replay to see if that's actually true.
Dawn walking across the river, gets the hook shot off, but also forces Abaddon to use his ulti. Doesn't have any friends around. 1, 2, 3 big arrows from Drow. Now they can take this mid tower. They are fighting more though. They find the puck. Puck's a big one, but now there we go. Dodges one ability, moves away. He's got the Witchblade, will do decent amount of damage onto this Clockwork, and maybe this time they can get it. Nyx Assassin though, he falls first, and Clockwork's got 15 HP Ironcrad. He wants to try, but it's too far to go to. There's two separate engagements as the Chosen One's trying to make his way out, and Puck, he is dodging a lot of abilities and almost kills the Clockwork there with that Illusory Orb. And back to the tower we go once again. Nemiga setting up with the bottle, regenerating, using the glyph. They're forcing Fantastic Five away.
Holding on to their tower for now, even though they lose several heroes in the process. I like this from Fantastic Five though. They immediately strike back. It's like, okay, fine, you use the coil here. We still want that mid tower. We don't care. We're gonna come for you again.
Nemiga now stacked up with 4 heroes in mid.
Chosen One is ag.
There's nothing to push. But yep, there's the Aghanim Scepter. Double Ion Shell charges. And it actually gives an HP buff as well. I didn't know that. That's
No, you didn't?
That's interesting.
Well, you could have listened to me. I said it several times.
yeah, I could have listened to you more, but I probably just forgot it during everything. But that was the only thing that I was missing on was actually the 300 HP.
It's very significant.
It's significant on heroes like Puck and TV, so it's actually pretty good. Lion.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Lost for words here, but yeah.
No, this is the turn that the game was always going to take. The Darkseer gets this Aghanim Scepter, the entire team groups up, and they just go for it because in spite of the amount of damage that the Drow brings, as well as the Viper, they still need some time to chew through these Nemiga heroes, and in that time, with the help of the Ion Shell, you can actually run them over.
Could say that pre-minute killing spree had something to do with this axe timing. It's pretty good. And Nemiga smoking up, looking for a Fantastic Five are also smoking, and we're gonna see a big fight break loose just momentarily, but the TV is not there. The rocket flies through, smokes are popping on both sides. Nemiga still wrapping around. They have an idea. TB is coming in, and they see him. They might just jump on him, but they're going to intercept them. And Aincrad, he's going to get slowed up. Silenced up, but he somehow still gets out because of the help of Lowdown, who's able to use the shield and get him out of the way. Now Ladon dropping low, BZZ down. They will lose another. He buybacks into the fight instantly with the Illusory Orb flying onto the back row. They will take that last hero, and Rari is on the run as well. Askel with the DD rune. He's not able to do much here, and Drow sitting still, being stunned at the moment. Nemiga haven't lost a single hero yet, but another jump in from the Void Spirit. Not able to go in quite full ham, but Nemiga, the timing was impeccable that the TB got in just as Aincrad goes in, but Lowdown with the save. That shield couldn't have been better timed.
That shield was absolutely perfect, and you can see her now with these double shields that both give extra HP. The Drow, she's been hitting away that entire fight, but she couldn't actually deal enough damage.
BZZ and Askel just going to have to watch their tower fall. Tier 2 down, 20 minutes in. And looking at Terrorblade's farm. He's got 11,000 net worth, but no Scotty. He's got Manta Dragonlance power jets, though.
Scotty's gonna come up next. He wanted to hit this power spike at the same time as his team, so he exactly got into the Dragonlance Manta style for that Aghanim Scepter. If you were to go for a Scotty there instead, you would have probably been slower. So, excellent coordination here by Nemiga. Did I say already that I like the way that this team plays their way out of drafts that don't look very good for them? Because I do. And they're showing it here again. They very much understand their win condition, and they understand it all together.
We did like the drow into the TB, but in this game, at least, yeah, this game isn't ending quite as fast as the the other Drow versus TB game that was played in this tournament before, which was over in like 19 minutes.
Dire's top tower is being
That was a
attacked.
Drow victory, but this one is at least going to be stretching a little bit further. It's still anybody's game. He's looking pretty good. Drow only has a Manta, going for a Hurricane
Top
Pike,
tower is
so
being attacked.
repositioning, but still lacking on damage.
Dire
It's a tough ask in a game like this. The enemy has a survival tool that also deals damage, and you cannot buy a survival tool that also deals damage. You buy survival or damage.
The importance of this Abaddon keeps on growing. The more the shields,
Radiant's middle
the less
tower
this
is
clockwork
taken
is going to have
damage.
impact in this game. Because they're like, we need to kill Abaddon, but he has a second life. And if we want to kill Puck quickly, Abaddon mustn't be allowed, like,
Radiant's
around.
middle tower is
So
being
it's
attacked.
like, we need to isolate them, but we need to kill this. But in order to do that, we need to kill this guy. And then it just becomes a big bunch of overthinking mess, like I usually am. So it's just a chaotic scenario to be in, where you have so many things to think about, and you forget the original idea, what you were supposed to do. So this is a tough game for Fantastic Five's captain also, to keep the package together.
Right now, they're not keeping it
Engagement.
together whatsoever.
They will find Einkrad this time. They get lucky with the damage. Finger flies out and almost taking down the
alive.
Nyx assassin, but Kiritich on the front line. There's the wall coming in from Chosen One, going on to Rari, but Kiritich has been felled, and they're looking for more. Chosen One pushed out. This was the fight that they really needed. Now they have the Abaddon held in place, and even Heaven gets denied by a neutral creep at the same time. Askel jumps in, takes down the Abaddon, and now Chosen One with that Iron Shell. You ain't gonna do enough on this Clockwork. You better get out of there, because it's not enough for him, and he will be caught. That's the last remaining hero. Fantastic Five team wipe on Nemiga.
I thought they warned you not to
That
speak
Lion did
with
so much work in
rangers.
that team fight. You could see the TB several times trying to get the Sunder off, and he was halfway through his animation whenever it got cancelled. I think it was first a Hex, then a Nurse
I'll
Spike.
take that.
Just eyes on the prize from BZZ, knowing that this was the man who was going to turn the team fight if he could, but no such thing. And the Darkseer was on top of the Drow the
Yep.
entire time, but without the TB to click there, you don't actually get her down.
The one thing I want to highlight from this fight recap, as it's still here, Puck, 0 damage. Only cast a Blink Dagger, got hexed, got killed. That's all they needed to do. They caught the Puck before the Abaddon was able to react, and it really opened up the fight for him. Even with the high ground advantage, Fantastic Five, they were not afraid. And that was the right moment to stand their ground, take the fight, and embrace the new world, so to say, because this game looks a whole lot different now. They're smoking up, taking the aggression, moving towards Nemiga's side of the map. Einkrad is suspecting something. He's already hiding behind a tree, and they're just going to catch him with a hook shot. There is Lowdown, but this time he ain't able to save him. Has to pop his own ulti as well on the retreat, but he is being chased by so many enemies, and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Super quick cross for Fantastic Five. They could go Roshan from here even. I mean, Drow's in pretty good shape.
Yep, and she's going to take it super fast as well.
Just gonna need someone to tank it, and the rest of the boys awake. And Nemiga probably not gonna contest them here.
They dropped the
We'll
ball
see.
for only a second, and this is a problem when you're actually outdrafting.
They need,
trying
I was
play
gonna
your
say
way
they
out
need
of
the
it.
puck for this, and they're going out.
Yes. You need to be perfect. And you need to have everybody here.
They found Ladon. Nyx has an Ags, and the office has detected an intruder. And it's the Clockwork on the back lines. BZZ holding the high ground. Hookshot to safety. Completely drained out of mana. Nemiga. They even used the Metamorph. They need to take this Roche for themselves. No hookshot to interrupt them. They might be able to take this. Roche dropping low. 3,000 HP. They stun the Viper on the front line. And they can't get there. They're trying to think about the timing. When do they go in? Askel leading the charge, going in right into the Roche pit. Who's going to take the Aegis? Going to go for Kiritich, even though the kill does go for Fantastic Five. They're going to take down the Nyx assassin in the front line as well as the wall on top of Last Hero on the back. Him on 3. And they will go on Last Hero. Take down this Viper. He's still hidden, but they will take him. They will take down 4. Fantastic Five is no longer a 5. They're all getting killed. And Rory, the only man to escape from this one. Nemiga with the buybacks. able to still go to the Roche pit and realize with that Metamorph we need to do this now. And it works. And it works, Kips.
And it works, and especially here because Aincrad is not the first one they fight. They need to go into the Roshan pit. They can't think about this puck. He gets the counter initiation. He stops this Void Spirit from doing anything in the fight at all. And in the meantime, the Chosen One is on the backline, getting all of the damage in, stopping the Drow from getting hers off. And beautiful vac wall there as well to seal the deal.
Top racks falling. Nemiga score the first racks. Even if Fantastic Five were looking to come back to this game. The last two fights that they took were looking pretty good. They were finding pickups, making Nemiga feel a bit scared. And with that aggression, Nemiga instantly answered back. And that was the right call. The buybacks on Aincrad, that was the one that they really needed to contest. But I was worried the moment I saw there's a Metamorph TB and there's no enemies next to the Roche pit. Like, this can go so bad. And the smoke from Fantastic Five. 40 seconds from Metamorph. Good timing to go. Nemiga. Low down.
The Aegis is not on Aincrad, remember? It got picked up by the TB. So if you kill him, he is gone forever.
He is gone, that is for sure. They're coming in from the river. Lowdown spotted. Gets hexed up by BCC. Last hero. There's the next assassin. They set up the office in a good spot to hit the stun. The back wall hit on 2. They do have the ulti connecting onto the Abaddon, but he's fine. Last hero is not going to be able to do much with this fight. Rari on the high ground with a DD rune. Deals about 500 damage. Nemiga don't need to take this fight. Neither do Fantastic Five. They back away, realizing that that engagement pretty much ends there.
They don't get the target that they need. Again, both of the good fights that they got were from Aincrad dying right off the bat. If they don't get him, it is so much harder. And then especially the one they find is Lowdown, he'll happily tank that.
Guardian Greaves coming up for the Darkseer. A lot more auras being brought onto the field. That's going to even more give Nemiga some kind of life support to just, you know, provide for a longer and longer fight the more they get these auras, and that suits the TB more than better. The time the stuns and the silences and the hexes run out, it means you're gonna be getting that Sunder off on a target that you really need to get. And they're smoking up aggressively on Fantastic Five side of the map. Clockwork is on the other side. Ascol also reveals himself. There's nobody in the triangle. So this is a smart move from Fantastic Five, just to sit in the base. There's a rocket on top of a TB illusion.
And just made that illusion.
Yep. And they're gonna go high ground from this. They've already taken one set of racks. They're looking for a second. They pop the Metamorph. 40 seconds. BZZ walks in. Great jump from Ascol. Decent damage on the TB, dropping very low. And if he dies with this Aegis, that means that there's not going to be another one available except for the 10-second Terrorize wave that he has available. He's down for the count. Ledon, he's done a great job here. Chosen One falling down as well. The Aura Carrier is out of the way, and the BKB pop, but the Drow Ranger now taking the front line for himself. Aincrad right next to him as well with his own BKB up and running. Here comes BCC. Aincrad is really scared about the right-click damage from Rari. Ledon, he doesn't have a Hookshook available, and he won't be able to get it. They keep the tier 3 tower up and alive as well. No buybacks even used by Fantastic Five to keep their base up. Intense moments.
Here the natural disadvantage of this Terrorblade into the Drow. You are just not tanky. You cannot sit there and siege like a Terrorblade would and be like, come at me, bro, because the bro will come and you can't handle those punches. You can't take those hands. So they have to work around it, and all the shields in the world in the end don't do enough for him. That was an Aegis and they don't even break through the tower. This problem is going to stay.
Ledon walks on the high ground with a battery assault, but it ain't gonna help much. Quick kill there. Tough spot for even for Nemiga, realizing how vulnerable the TB still is. And with the Chosen One dying, it feels like they're all their heroes turn into glass cannons again. TB also has only 10 seconds with that terror wave of his Metamorph.
10 seconds is enough, though, to make it useful, well, on the second life, for example. He's going into the BKB next to make sure that he can't get stunned out of the Sunder. His other option that he had queued up before was the Satanic to make sure that, you know, even if he can't sunder anyone, as long as he has people to hit, he can regen right back up. So both pretty much equal solutions, just making sure that he gets to stay in the fight. But the BKB perhaps the more, how shall I say that? The turnaround is going to come faster. You pop the BKB, you sunder. You don't need to get any hits off whatsoever. You're not at risk of getting disabled through the phase where you want to be getting your hits.
That's the most crucial part of these team fights, is soak up as much as possible. Wait for the Chosen One to get that vac wall combo off while the TB is soaking hits. Get the Sunder off during, and that's like the dream scenario. But it all comes kind of clicking together because Darkseer, me as an Enigma player, can realize the same threat factor that vacuum has. So that is a game-winning spell. If you hit the right people, you hit the right cores, that's going to make the TB's life even easier. It just pays off. If you lose like 60% of your HP pool, it just suddenly pays off so well because suddenly the enemies are right next to you. You can sunder them and you blow them to smithereens. They're forced to reposition themselves.
At the very least, Fantastic 5 has the tools for that. Asgold's always going to be able to get in and out. There's Glimmer Cape ready over on BZC, and of course the Drow Ranger herself has had that Hurricane Pike at the ready. But backing off would mean giving up towers if you're literally standing with your back to your base towers, so that would still be a win for Nemiga.
Ready with the hook shot. There's a gem on the clockwork.
Ooh, Nemiga doesn't want to fight right now. TB's not here.
Spider legs onto the high ground. Get rid of all those pesky wards. They have now established a Nemiga flag in the dire triangle. No more acceptance in that area. Problem here for F5 is that this top lane is constantly passively pushing in. So if anybody wants to push 1 or 2 waves further to be able to smoke out of base and make a play, to put one hero there, and Nemiga might just be someone's going to have to clear this and get a pick off.
It's possible. It also provides a possible avenue for Nemiga to smoke into the base, because of course your smoke's not going to get broken there, no more towers. It's a cool alternative angle from which to come at a problem.
Yep.
There's a bunch of NA teams that really like doing that. Trying to remember. Probably Undying.
Undying could be, I think 4 Zoomers might also be another.
Zoomers, yeah.
Comes to mind.
It's the Zoomers actually, because I was watching EG replays. And I kept on smoking into the enemy base to see if they could break the case wide open.
Yeah. Those are really important ones. They're able to smoke into the enemy base, and someone ill-expectedly just walks in thinking that they're safe. However, now we take a tiny turn. Roshan, 1 minute 30 seconds. Fantastic 5 are going to have to wait until Roche is up, so they are throwing rockets into the pit. Keeping an eye open on the situation. Monitoring if Nemiga is going to walk in there. It's the only thing that the Clockwork needs to do. They fire the rocket. They're actually going to smoke right now. Expecting the smoke to come up later. But they're committed to it then. Maybe some wards being placed down. He's got 1 observer on him. Nobody around. Carefully spreading about. They're very spread right now with this smoke rotation. And as soon as that nether toxin connects into mid, that should be an indicator that Fantastic 5 has left the house. They're no longer in the base. They're probably walking straight back in because they're not finding anybody. And this is the perilous moment. The road back home.
Going to have to make it together. Hold hands.
Hold hands indeed. What the heck is BZC gonna hex a creep? Not sure if he's clicking on the ground already. He's just spamming the W and clicking in front of him, hearing the EMAP sound because there's nothing to hex.
Yeah, he's probably getting ready to actually hex anyone who jumps in on him.
Yep. 10 seconds. Roche to the up. And another rocket into the pit. And as this rocket flare should reveal it, both teams... The rocket flare actually expires. Minor detail. Nemiga ping it out. Here comes the next one. And realization, Roche is up. No smokes. Nobody has any smokes. They're going to have to go unsmoked. Nemiga are going on the offensive instead with their own smoke. BZZ in the middle of all of them. Lion gets blown up, and he's gone. Goes for instant buyback. TB, however, pops his BKB with a Metamorph. Trying to get some damage out, and it will be enough to take down this Viper. Double kill for Kirtic. He used both the Metamorph and the Fear.
It worked out for him, though. Last hero got hit by that Fear Wave. That's exactly why he died, why he has to die back right now. But they don't control their own outpost, so he's all the way back in his own base while his team desperately tries to push out this mid wave so they can make a stand.
They see
They still have to
Lowdown.
go past Lowdown, though.
It's not the target to necessarily go for Drow. Needs to get a few sucker punches in, hoping to pop the ulti, but he just can't get it off. One hit short from getting the ulti away from Lowdown. That could have made a big difference, because then Clockwork can just hook shot in. Get rid of that Abaddon, but they're finishing Roche at the same time. Leaving it to half HP, though. Not finishing it just quite yet. Nyx. Office has been placed in front of the Roche pit.
Metamorph is timed out. Fantastic 5 did stretch it long enough.
20 seconds for the Fear Wave, or the Terror Wave to be up, but that's still only a 10-second Metamorph. They need, it's like a, need to make those 10 seconds count.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, your team fight is going to look like a GIF animation. However, Ledon, stunned up in the air. Ledon takes a lot of damage, gets rooted up, quickly removes it with a shield. Ledon still waiting for it. Nyx Assassin, you can't really break his office. He's still there.
He's not gonna move.
Nope, he ain't moving. Taunt or not, he ain't moving.
He's got the corner office and he's just fine. You gotta go get yourself a
There's a
promotion.
Minotaur
if you
horn
want
on
a
the
nice
ground.
spot like that.
Void Spirit just snatches it from... Okay, sends it back to base. I was thinking that they could actually use that mini BKB in a very important moment, but looks like they're not going to use it for now. 40 seconds for Metamorph to be back up. Can feel a tingling sensation in the air. They're now pinging the mid lane, that they're moving deeper into enemy territory. Nemiga.
His towers are taking damage.
Yep, there are tier 4 towers taking damage for sure. This is taking quite a long time for Fantastic 5, and now Nemiga thinking about making the decisive move into the Roche pit. Another rocket flare flies in. They see the TB, 3.6k HP. An absolute juggernaut.
Only the Drow can take him.
And Lowdown is in trouble.
He dewarded
Gets
already.
hosed
He
up
won.
into the air. He went for the D-ward, but his ulti's gone. This is the time to go in. They will go, but they have lost the Aegis and everything taken for the TB. While Einkrad, he's got a two-man coil. They're just stunned up, standing on the spot. Rory tries to TP out in front of everybody. And with some type of miracle, he gets home. But last hero, not as lucky as he is.
They were so distracted by this Abaddon going up that they completely forgot about the Roche.
Big plays from this Abaddon, forcing the attention with just a D-ward.
The TB was scrambling to even get the items into his inventory. He didn't have space, but as it turns out, he didn't need to hurry because the enemy wasn't anywhere near.
Mid-racks are history. Nemiga, 19,000 gold ahead, and an absolute unit in their front line. This Terrorblade, he's got a Blink Dagger. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You love it when you see it. Askel, quick jump in. X on the Nyx. Just healing him back up. It's fine. Soaking up a couple hits. They have the Terrorblade on the front line. They burst it through the first 1,000 HP. A bit more to go. Ledon comes in from the back line. They need to save Rory. No BKB. Lowdown comes in and Kirtic finishes off the job. Lowdown finally gets the kill as well. Ledon, however, trying to make a run away from it as they have Askel in the front. They blow up the TV with the finger and they don't have enough damage. Drow is gone for 75 seconds. The coil down onto Askel, and that doesn't break the coil even though he walks onto the edge. And that Yules, it ends up being his end as Fantastic 5 are wiped in the end, and Nemiga take game number 1.
In traditional Nemiga fashion, I want to say right now, they will always get in some sort of trouble in the draft, and they will try their best to play their way out of it. This was a great example of how if you just dedicate yourself to hitting those timings, and specifically on the heroes that need them, not necessarily on the heroes that are like, you know, the biggest farmers. What they needed was the Aghanims on the Chosen One. That got priority. What they needed was then the Aghanims on the Nyx Assassin. That got priority too. And then you get to slowly corner office and Ion Shell your way out of a very, very rough draft situation, because this Drow had every chance to rip through the TB if she could just get her hands on him. And she couldn't.
Drow's damage output 27k, but the top damage dealer from Nemiga is the Darkseer. 25.6 thousand damage dealt in this game. And you know, you can't wish for a better start. Take a look at the quick graph here on the player net worth. You see the game starts and he's already up by 300 gold. He's 400 gold ahead of the second hero. He keeps that lead for quite some time. Gets that 19-minute Aghanims. And they start working their way from there, because that's such a big item to change the course of how the other heroes are going to survive. 300 HP for the Puck and the TB. That's a lot. That's like a fourth of their HP pool increase. And they're no longer the squishies that they were used to seeing, especially against all that burst damage with the Lion and the Void Spirit providing onto the field. Fantastic 5 ran out of tools. TB got too big. Classic game stretches too far. Nemiga on a winning streak with their games as well. They're looking really good.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see if they will be able to continue that. One more win here puts them as the last lower bracket starter to actually make it out here. So, Fantastic 5, you're going to have to bring it.
You heard the lady. We'll take a break and we'll be back for game number 2.